Now to one of the most heated issues in the upcoming election, abortion policy. Former President Donald Trump officially announcing his stance on Truth Social today. In a video post, he said abortion should be left up to the states and did not mention a nationwide ban.
My view is now that we have abortion where everybody wanted it from a legal standpoint, the states will determine by vote or legislation or perhaps both, and whatever they decide must be the law of the land, in this case, the law of the state.
The decision angered both sides of the aisle. Pro-life advocates have been pushing for a federal abortion ban. Meanwhile, abortion proponents believe more should be done to protect the procedure. Joining us now is Kristen Hawkins, president of Students for Life. Kristen, do you believe Trump's failure to call for a national ban is cause for concern?
No, I actually don't think it's cause for concern. I was actually more concerned that the president was going to call for a national 15 or 16-week divisive late-term abortion ban, which would have said that he was okay with abortions 94% of the time, because a late-term abortion ban, 15 or 16 weeks, only prevents between 4 and 6% of abortions. And I was very concerned with our work at Students for Life Action and the work the pro-life movement has been doing in state capitals to pass life at conception laws, heartbeat abortion protection laws, that would send a signal to the rest of the GOP not to stand courageously with the pro-life movement. As everyone knows, the pro-life movement's goal has not changed since even before Roe was reversed. We want to see abortion ended, and we want to see federal protection for children in the womb beginning when their life starts at conception. A state line shouldn't determine whether or not you get to live or die. But when I listened to President Trump's statement today, I think what I really took away from that is he wasn't weighing in on the particulars. He was saying what the Dobbs decision said, which is that states now have the ability to protect the most vulnerable people within their state borders, and they should act to do that. We don't have 60 votes in the U.S. Senate right now to pass a federal abortion protection act. These state legislatures is where we're seeing the most gains, but that doesn't put him out of doing more work. We certainly have a long list for the president if and when he is elected to make sure he's appointing pro-life vice president, pro-life cabinet secretary, stopping the DOJ's prosecution of pro-life grandmas who are simply praying in front of abortion facilities, stopping chemical abortion pills and chemically tainted blood, tissue, and human remains that are polluting our waterway from the leading cause of abortion now, which is chemical abortion. So he still has a lot of work to do for the pro-life movement, for sure.
It seems like his stance could leave a lot of space for the pro-life movement to continue doing its work. Why do you think we've heard so much backlash?
Well, I think, there was a lot of folks in Washington, D.C. wanted to see the president come out and embrace what they thought was like this consensus position of allowing abortion up until 15, 16 weeks. What we know from European standards is that's not good. We don't want there ever to be a false consensus or compromise struck in the pro-life movement. We need to be very clear in the pro-life movement, we will not end this fight until every single abortion is ended in our nation, when abortion is completely abolished, unthinkable, and unavailable. And so we were very clear, while we do everything we can to pass laws and to move that ball down the court to protect as many lives as we can today, tomorrow, and the next day, setting up a standard to have the President of the United States, who's the leader, who would be the leader of the Republican Party, to say that we're okay with the vast majority of abortions. That's not where we need to be. This certainly doesn't prevent pro-life organizations, the pro-life movement, from working on Capitol Hill to pass pro-life laws. It doesn't prevent anything of what we're doing at the state house level to pass pro-life laws. In fact, I think this should motivate folks to move forward. And it really puts burden back on the Biden administration and their radical view that abortion should be illegal up until the moment of birth, with no conscious protections for doctors or healthcare workers, and taxpayer funded. That is a position that is simply indefensible. More than 90% of Americans disagree with that position. They need to be held accountable. That the fact that they can't name one abortion they don't like. And I think Trump's statement today allows us to have that very real conversation.
We've got a little bit less than a minute. Is this position that we heard from Trump today in line with what we've been hearing from him?
It's a little bit different from what we've heard certain statements about his view that now that Roe's been reversed, let states weigh in. There were concerns and articles written a few months ago that he was weighing taking on this federal late-term abortion limit that would allow more than 9 out of 10 abortions. So I was genuinely surprised by his statement. He even went into his statement about how it should help mothers and families struggling, and that also goes into this pro-life equation as well, because we know
Right.
passing laws to limit abortion isn't simply going to end all abortions. We have to reduce supply and demand of abortion.
All right, Kristen Hawkins with Students for Life, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Bye-bye.